Gran Turismo.
Do you know what? Everything I was going to say about Gran Turismo, Mark has prefaced perfectly.
Oh.
Because in talking about Blue Beetle as a collection of components that you have seen time and time again and are kind of tired of, tied together by nice, satisfying, charming character work, it's like you hit the nail on the head for what Gran Turismo is missing. It is, to fill you in on the storyline, it is the true story.
True story.
Based on a true story.
Yeah.
Scouts on it.
Truth.
Do you know what? There is more truth to it than I was expecting there to be, having known nothing about it. But essentially, the story is that of Jan Mardenborough, who, as a young guy, was a little bit directionless, was really involved in Gran Turismo, the video game, got a defining lap time on one of the circuits in the game, and was invited to join the GT Academy, which essentially is like, or was, no, it's still going, I think, is like a marketing ploy that Gran Turismo and Nissan partnered up in order to both raise the profile of Nissan and Gran Turismo, whereby they invited video gamers who were really good at this driving sim to come and have a go, to win the chance to be in the actual seat of a real race car. And Jan Mardenborough won that chance. He got that opportunity to sit in a car, and from there built a career in motorsport, in both touring, in both GT and Formula 3, and is now currently still racing, and still semi-successful at it. It is an absolutely nuts story that you could take. Yeah, absolutely. It is crazy, and I am all about this unlikely underdog story. But the film is just so boring. It is everything, like you said, Mark, everything that you've seen before from like an underdog sports movie. You've got the family who tell him that he can't do it or that he shouldn't do it. You've got the old salt who is literally called Jack Salter, as the mentor, sort of gruffly egging him on, really doesn't believe in him, but kind of changes his mind after a while. You've got the moment of disaster that almost ends the entire career, and then you've got the slow building back to make something of yourself, to be, in the end, triumphant.
And Days of Thunder, right?
Or Rocky, or whatever you like.
He's a chunder, more like.
It takes every play in the book to craft a story that you have seen so many times before, and holding it together is nothing. It just disintegrates in your hands as you're holding it. The things that should be there to make it involving a set of great performances, a winsome main character, like a
winsome,
yeah.
That's just what I want as an anchor of my sports story.
Yeah. But it's just, it's got nothing. Yeah. It's got none of that. It's all absolutely flat. Orlando Bloom playing Danny Moore, who is a character invented for the movie, but essentially the mastermind behind this GT Academy idea. I don't think Orlando Bloom could be less interested to be there. Likewise, David Harbour as Jack Salter, who's this racer turned mechanic mentor to Jan. They are putting in a performance that is enough to get them a paycheck, and that is it. I have seen both of them be far more engaging with far less.
Oh.
And I'm saying that about Orlando Bloom, for God's sake, you know, like and
Calcium kid.
Yeah, exactly. But the real, I don't want to lay the blame solely at the guy's feet, but Archie Madekwe, who plays Jan Mardenborough, has a lot to do in order to sort of salvage this as a character that you really, really want to root for. He has a horrific setback that is just beyond words devastating, and you just don't feel it. He has real difficulty, I think, selling the depth of trauma that must have been there for Mardenborough in his real life.
Yeah.
And that is the point where, like, this is win or lose. This is either the movie works or it doesn't work. And at that moment, it didn't get me and it didn't work. And at that point, it's like, you've got nothing.
Yeah.
Now you are never going to pull me back from this point, because this is your gambit. This is your big deal. This is your make an impact on your audience, and it just completely fails. And it's a shame, because there's some bits of it that are not bad at all. The racing is high octane. It is
good engine noises.
Good engine. There are some really spectacular racing disasters in the career of Mardenborough, and not all of them involving him, but that he was sort of present for, and they are just incredibly shot. But I was kind of expecting that, you know, like when you go and see a movie about motorsport, you are kind of expecting them to get the motorsport right. And they do, so good on them. But it's just nowhere near enough. It's nowhere near enough.
It's not a poster tagline, is it? Like some of it is not bad.
Yeah.
Like...
yeah. I just think there's, if you go to see it to be if you're invested in the genre, if you always know you're gonna like this kind of like underdog boy makes good like story, then you'll probably get something out of it, because it does all those things exactly as you would expect it to. It just does nothing else.